Special good morning to our listeners, those of you via Classic Radio. Good Friday morning, whether you're listening 105.5, 105.9, good Friday morning. Let me also say good morning to our viewers, those of you via GBN Television, Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channel 20. Good morning. Good morning also to those of you via our social media platforms. Let's say good morning to those of you already on the Facebook page. Good morning. Thanks for being part of To The Point for today, Friday. The YouTube channels. Good morning. GBN's webpage. Good morning. Maybe there's some other third-party shows that you're listening to us from. Certainly appreciate that a whole lot. Thanks for being with us this morning. Coming to the end of another work week for a vast majority of us. Probably today may be the final day in terms of work for you. You do the Monday to Friday. There are folks who do the entire 7 days. But if today's your final day, certainly hope today's will be a successful one. And you get the entire weekend to probably get some rest or do the chores at your other workplace, which is usually your home. Some folks would call it that. And their home is there. That's the other workplace for them. I'm GT with you this morning. I'm your host. Going to be around with you for the next hour. It's To The Point. And hear what, folks? It's going to be an open line this morning, which means feel free to give me that call, 435-2041, 435-2041. There's no particular subject line this morning. For some reason, I'm not sure why my phone is ringing. I have to figure that out. I'm not sure why my phone is ringing, but let's see if we can accommodate our very first caller this morning. My ringing phone. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing? How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, and as I say, it's always a joy to have you on the
blessings, my brother.
Radio.
All right.
Lifted. Anyway, there's quite a few things I would like to talk about, but I know I can't talk about all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will start off by our irresponsibility. Year after year, we do the same thing in terms of what we do, the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Last Saturday, as some people would have seen a video related to the Lacalome area, where it's not really Lacalome per se, but it's the junction to go to Lacalome.
Yes.
It was blocked. It was full because debris came down with bamboo and all kind of stuff like that. I'm asking myself, what is the problem with our people? We know it would happen. Why we continue? And then we require folks to come and get resources to remove it. What I'm saying is that we had 6 months. You might say relatively to prepare. We're not doing that. And then we get frantic when the weather system is on. And of course, we're thinking that the weather system is evil. But this is a natural process which we should seek to live in harmony with. Mm-hmm. As I said to some people, if we really do our part, the weather will come through and that's it. It passes, no problem, it comes again. But we are putting obstacle in the way. So when we put the obstacle in the way, it's endangering our life and the future generations.
And you're talking in reference to the way we dispose garbage and the cutting of trees and so on and so forth.
Yeah, when we cut bamboo in particular, those things for building and so on, we leaving the remains in the river or near the river. So when it comes down, when the heavy force rain comes down, it brings it down. I'm saying that is stupid because we do the same thing with garbage. We throw garbage in the drain and say, well, if the folks don't get work to do, if we don't do that, how do I get? We have to become more evolved and more sophisticated as a people. The next point I want to make is about the violence. Mm-hmm. There are those in Grenada who trying to pretend or trying to give the impression that the violence that we experience now is a result of the new administration. This is far from the truth. Over the years, we have had episodes of violence from time to time. In fact, I think even GBN was fair. The Prime Minister made a statement in relation to a question I asked him on violence. It was never made news, and this should be made news. This came out in a newspaper in the United States. But we didn't do anything here. So when the representative of St. George's, the town of St. George's, asking the kind of questions he asking, and the fact that the Prime Minister talk about that he would take even a zero tolerance to gun violence, and also that the licensing would have to be even more restricted, and so he spoke about that. So I wonder where these folks are. So we have to be mindful that violence is something. Look what happened in St. Vincent. The Cuban workers are being attacked by young people, the health workers. I mean, this violence is a worldwide phenomenon. In January, my organization, Friends of the Earth, organized a major webinar. More people from outside of Grenada attended. It was highly commended. How many people, even GBN, who was supposed to be one of our partners, reclined in terms of playing the role. So, and a lot of things came out. Dr. what's his name, Roger Williams, gave a really good sort of analysis of how the person becomes violent and how violence could be acted against him. They could be both the perpetrator and the victim. Nobody paid interest in that. We even invited the Commissioner of Police at the time and the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and the Prime Minister, although he couldn't make it at the time because he was out of the island. So the thing about it is that we need to take a more honest approach to the issue of violence. Some of us know who have gone. So do we tell the police? Although, we may feel we may be in danger in our life. So we have to be, because this thing, just one stupid act could cause so much problem for all of us. So let us take a concerted approach.
All right.
The representative of St. George's said something which is partly true, because there are those who have tried to link the violence over the years with the revolution. This is further from the truth. As he said, after the revolution, folks who had gone disposed their guns. Because we were never a violent people. The young people at the time wanted change. They tried to change. Thing exploded, and we all went back to our community and tried to continue living. Mm-hmm. So the policies of the subsequent government are responsible for where we are today, because they break up all the groups and they made all kind of stuff. So we are reaping the fruits of the seeds that was planted there. So let us be honest. Thanks.
Thank you for your contribution as always, man. Have yourself a great day, and certainly hope you have a great weekend to come. Folks, 435-2041, 435-2041 is an open line this morning here on To The Point. If you do have a bit of a concern that you would like to express this morning, feel free to do so. You do have a comment pertaining to something that you would like to, of course, comment on, go right ahead. Do so this morning here on To The Point. I think I got my phone sorted out in terms of that ringing. Good morning to you, caller, and welcome. How are you this morning?
Very well, not very well. I'm a bear with a sore head, but you will get it. Sir, I live in True Blue. Mm-hmm. From 9 o'clock last night, water is gone. No single water. I get up this morning trying to shower, no water. But yesterday, Nawasa sent a tanker to take on the hydrant in True Blue, to take it and bring it to some place in Point Saline. The driver told me he was going, and they come to open the thing. Lots of building is going on in True Blue. Nobody did any research to find out how we could facilitate these buildings, all house, flats, and everything. And we have the shortage of water now. I was waiting to shower to go out from 9 o'clock last night. There's just no water in my house. I know water is a very cheap commodity in Grenada, and rightly so. But and I'm paying for that services. And every day, look at the amount of rain. No water.
All right. Well, certainly hope the folks at Nawasa, someone is listening this morning and try to rectify that problem.
I don't have a telephone book. I have not spoken to the manager, because I cannot understand. They have have to decide how much buildings they're going to put and how much water that is going to be a simple commodity like that. I am ready to go out. I have an appointment. I can't go because I ain't going out, without a shower to stand up in people's place.
Understand your flight caller? Understand, you do understand. Have a good morning.
Right. That is all my beef this morning.
All right, thank you so much. 435-2041. I certainly do understand, but there's always that little option that is always said, make sure you always have some water stored. You just never know when, something could happen where you're out. So having some water stored could definitely could have resolved that for a wee bit. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. It's to the point for today, Friday.
Yes, GT, good morning.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning. GT, let's talk about the water there. I'm advising ingredients to do it. Have a system set up in your home, a standby system. So you have a tank in every home, depending on what that's 3.5. Can I say a disappointment to the company? But water waste on about the place and then connecting it and bottom, and money water can go in your bill.
Well, it could be some fault. It could be some fault somewhere. Sometimes we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. It could be a broken line or something that's causing the problem.
Right, but every home should have, in this time, have a standby tank.
Yeah, have some water stored.
So when water in the main gone, you go straight on back to your tank in again,
All right.
This is a news last time BBC concerned Ukraine and the Western world and things like that in Washington right now. They're using a bomb called cluster bomb right now. Cluster bomb which is condemned years ago from other country, over 100 countries stopped using that bomb. America supplying that to Ukraine right now. And that bomb is a deadly bomb. They'll spend years, and I'm going to tell you, years. People have lost their leg, they died from that bomb when you undergone for a period of time. I mean, why we go back in this kind of days we condemn things in the past and you supplying to people right now? Because they was part of the condemnation to other countries using the same bomb. But they're supplying it to Ukraine right now. All right. And you have a problem again with cost of living now in terms of Congo. India right now said they will be shipping no white rice to the world right now. They're stopping shipping rice to the world and the white rice. So cost of living from that time will not going up. The Black Sea right now, nothing can pass through the Black Sea to Russia. Say no boat passing the Black Sea. So I find a way to pass and come out to the wheat. So everything go up in the sky again. And the world people suffer in the world and you have been suffering war. Who win a war? Do you have anybody who win a war yet?
Well, there's nobody wins. Nobody ever wins. Because there's always casualty on both sides, so nobody ever wins.
Why mankind in this modern time was blaming Hitler for all the wickedness in the world in the past, Hitler? And they're more wicked than Hitler today. What are they creating?
All right, man.
Come on, I mean, oh God, the world, we are to die every in the world now. So why creating war and weapons? And they can order fire in their own country. When fire comes, they can order fire in the country. When fire starting in some countries, they can stop it from spreading. But they create all kind of nuclear weapon, all kind of this, all kind of that on the earth, all kind of poisonous thing. They have nuclear waste thrown in the sea now, and in a while to come, nuclear waste from company in Japan, nuclear plant thrown in the sea water, they throw in just now. They have a big estate underground storing nuclear waste and all. Come on, mankind. I mean, the end of the earth today is man who creates all the problem.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution as always, man. Have yourself a great day, all right? Take it easy, man. All the best. 435-2041. We still can accommodate some of your calls, and certainly if you do have a concern, feel free to do so. It's an open line session up to the point this morning. Let's hear what you have a concern about. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. GT. How are you today, sir?
Doing pretty good. What about you?
All right. Well, I have some concern.
Tell me.
It's a burning issue. Now, Mr. Royce and Joint Plainfield. I wonder how many people know that Plainfield. It's alias that's Tantin Plainfield. Well, I visited there and I had to speak with someone there because I went there. Now, apparently there's doing a work there, and I think there's going to install some lights there. But presently, there are 6 holes dug there, and they are 12 feet wide, and they're all full of water, plastic bag, paper, and all of them, the color change. There's one that take 2 of them. There are frogs in them. and what it's smelling. But what is is funny is like they have one right to the entrance of the Angel Harps pan house. And that one is the most dangerous one, I find, because of the smell of the water, the looks of the water,
so
and
you have some kind of contamination there already, right?
Right, and because I think maybe you have little business there, so some of the waste water might be ending up there.
All right.
And you could see evidence that place, not the Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health, the Minister of person in charge of St. George's, they should look at that thing. Now the Ministry of Health is going around talking about dengue. And they have people in the areas that say they write 3 and 4 letters to the ministry about this thing. Apparently, they put in the concrete pillar that they need for sustaining the light with the bolts. But instead of covering back up, they leave it like that. But it seems like something happened, this project hold up or something, because for the among the letters these people say they're writing and nobody coming to look, no response. So it's like the contractor abandoned it like it is, but it really need, because look at right in front of the entrance to Angel Clubs, and some of the debris, they take it and throw it, and they throw in the stands for the pan, because they're storing the stand there. So now we have children going there to practice. What about the mosquitoes? Do you have a flux of people coming around for barrel by the boat? You don't know. We're talking about someone should take some interest in that. Right. But the only thing I see going good there, they're doing some work on the netball clothes, resurfacing all the seats and thing, which is very good.
There's a tournament coming up pretty soon. That for the reason, that's the reason for that.
Well, because that place was abandoned, according to me, no maintenance.
Well, I certainly hope what you mentioned this morning, someone in authority is listening and get some movement on that, because it could be kind of bad for the health of a nation.
Yeah, and it's carnival time coming up, and a lot of people going to be masqueraded passing in this area. It's time moving there quickly and do something. Talking. The contractors might be interested, okay, that whole up, but we have to look after our people on the ground. What is affecting them? Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Thank you so much for your contribution there. We due for a break. Let's take it. We come back. We grab some of the comments from the Facebook page. We take more of your phone calls when we come back after the break. Stay with us. To the point, the open line edition this morning.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivors' benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Well, what about you this morning?
I'm all right. A little bit angry with some of our parents this morning.
What's the concern?
I just want parents to understand that we have a responsibility for our children. When we look at what the government do for our children in education, you know how much parents could breathe light come September, they have to find the $400 and the $800 to pay for the fee. The government take this responsibility. You go tell me, JT, you can pick up the slack to buy a little some panties, to buy some socks, to buy a pair of shoes for your children, instead of calling on the government and say, well, I'll reach us halfway, so give me a little fortnight, although the bush start to cut by the road. Go put out a little stuff and look for a little fortnight to buy the thing that the voucher used to cover now. JT, you know, some of them don't want the work. I could tell you, not somebody tell me they don't want it, because they used to be contractor under the NNP. Then getting contract now, they don't want the work. But you hear they calling on the government and asking when they giving the voucher. Are they making all your children shame? Some of them children asking question, why my mother bring me in the world? Only to depend on government to do that and to do that. What is their duty? Come on, some of our these parents getting all your children angry. Get up and help the children. Let the children see that all you're trying. Don't only sit down and government to help all your children. Come on, man. A big shame. Bye-bye, my brother.
Thank you so much for your contribution as always. Thank you so much. Let me grab some of the comments via the Facebook page before we entertain another call. And let's take this one from Alyssa. You say, by blaming the present state of crime in our country on this new administration, some of us are showing the level of our ignorance. Let's go to this one from Ernesto. Today I want to give the PM, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, an advice that not all green teeth is a smile. And I said this to say that so I happened to listen to Clarice Modeste, who called in on the NNP program and was lambasting the new administration. And I was taken when she mentioned accountability. The word gives me a chill. When they were in government, she served for almost 23 years, and I want to remind her about the shrimp and fall farm for Victoria, the oil and gas cap bank, and the list goes on that and more, Ms. Modeste. All right, let's take another one from Ernesto. I want to congratulate the PM and the church with the help of the Chinese in republishing the center in St. David's. Yesterday, at the ribbon was cut, and the opening up for the people of the village and surrounding areas. Once again, our honorable PM demonstrated that he's a love for the people. Changing others' lives for better. I always dare. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome. How are you?
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I would make this statement. The modern world seems to be more ancient than the ancient world. You may wonder, what do I mean by that? We are claiming that we are more developed yet for all, we have more problem. We say we have brilliant scientists.
I guess for some reason we lost that caller. I'm not sure what occurred, but we lost that caller there. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's take a peek at the Facebook page once again. Let's see if there's any other comment that we need to throw out this morning. Grenadians, happy we back in these days. We are collecting water. Lady collect water. We're at, I guess that individual is speaking more or less to the one of the our previous caller who called concerning not having water. I guess that comment goes along that particular line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
President, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling on behalf of the people of Beirut. They are kindly asking the PM if he could give them a bus shed. It is necessary because when you're coming from the bus, rain, thunder, lightning, you have to go down in the rain. Even though you have umbrella, it makes sense, the umbrella flying away. So they are asking.
What area? What area is that?
Give them a bus shed.
What area?
Beirut.
Caller, what area are you speaking about again?
Beirut, St. David.
Beirut and St. David's. All right.
They asked if you could give them a bus shed. They will be grateful for it.
All right.
And I just want to say good morning to my PM, Minister Telesod.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too, caller. Have yourself a good one. 435-2041. It's an open line edition of To The Point this morning. If you do have a bit of a concern that you would like to express, feel free to do so this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning to you, sir.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah. It seemed to me that something was wrong, and I'm back, luckily. Now, I was saying that we are saying that we are living in a modern world. But to me, this modern world seems to be an ancient world. It's more, as you would, I wouldn't say that. As people would say, it's more worse than previous years. You find people doing things that they should never do. They do not want to help themselves. Long ago, I wonder what I should say. When I say long ago, what do I mean by that? You interpret how you want. Now, long ago, people used to make their own fire for themselves. Now we have everything being made for us, and yet we are complaining. Some of us are making so many children with the mind that somebody would have to give them food or shelter. It's time that we plan, and we must plan for the future so we don't have all these problems. When you have something, everybody wants to share in it, but nobody wants to help you get it. In fact, if I go to straight now, a lot of irregularities are happening in Grenada with most of the banks in Grenada, where I want the word they use it now, they hacking. People become experts in hacking, and some of the banks are not talking about it. A lot of people are complaining, but they are afraid to say what is happening because they feel that somebody would feel like they have money and they would be attacked in some way or the other. It's time that the government try to assist the people by trying to get some of the banks to do what they have to do. Because a lot of people, or a lot of us, are complaining to the banks. I have a problem with one or two now, and it's a serious problem. It's time that the government go into it. I'm not calling on them because I want to call for them, but they have a duty to assist the people in the miseries with these banks and them.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Let's take a peek at some of the comments via the Facebook page. And we have Alpha saying, ask the stores in Grenville that were authorized to collect the V vouchers. Some parents use it to purchase eyelash and nails and around the carnival season. And then they want the government to provide they should be providing for their children. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Hallelujah. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
My concern is the government, that government is a good government. As I get a vision that everyone, we have to pray for the government, we have to pray. Sign I want that. End time is right now. God says, don't say that end time is right now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. I pray I sit up in your back. Galatians 5:16, you walk in flesh. Galatians 5:20, walk in spirit. God is spirit. God is doing something right now.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of To The Point this morning. If you do have a concern you want to speak about, you want to state an opinion on something, on a particular issue, feel free to do that also. You also have the option of the WhatsApp, 435-2041. You can send a message via WhatsApp. You could also comment via the Facebook page. Feel free to do so with your views and the concerns this morning here on To The Point. Let's see if we can entertain another caller. Seem to have lost that caller. 435-2041 and open line edition of To The Point. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, GT, good morning.
Good morning to you.
GT, my concern today is we are not looking at the signs of the times because we do not know what the Word of God has predicted, what it has said would happen in certain times. And I want to let Grenadians know the times we are living in is called the end times. And it says in the end time there shall be terrible things happening. It talks about the condition, the violence, and all the things that will take place. And this is the time. So to blame government for the increase in crime and all this other thing is not right. And those who are doing it, they know the number. If we check in 1 year, I think it's in 17 or 18, we had more than 15 murders before the end of that year. Nobody blame government for it. But this year, they want to blame this new administration. And it's the things that some of those government people do that cause the demonic forces to be unleashed over the nation. And unless we as Grenadians repent and turn back to God, it's going to be terrible for us. So we better prepare ourselves if we don't want to pray, if we don't want to repent and ask God's mercy, grace, and compassion for us, we are going to pay the penalty.
Thank you, caller.
Grenadians, repent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution also. 435-2041. 435. I think we're due for a break. We're probably going to take that break and let's entertain this call first before we take another break. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Hey.
Caller, good morning.
Good. Just a minute. What are you doing? Sorry, dear.
Good morning to you.
Listen, I was just talking to a friend, actually a neighbor was calling, the first call you got from Chublu, and she was saying that she don't have any water. I'm kind of surprised with that because the houses that used to build long time, like 15 years ago, we all had...
Consider that a long time? You consider 10, 15 years a long time?
Well, it's not. No, especially no. But the houses used to have a system like what Carriacou used to have, because we didn't used to have water down in Chublu at all. Chublu was always a place, Calis and all these places, and they always had problems for water. And so what people did was they built a system under their house. And
that's
then
storage tank, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
I right now, for the past 2 weeks, I'm not using government water. I turn off the government water and I'm using my tank water. I have a pump. Because when the rain is falling so heavy down here, that so much water, even I using it every day, I cannot use it enough because by the time the rain falls, the water is start, wasting and flowing out.
But so, there's always been that issue in that part, the southern part of the island with concerns about water. That's totally nothing new. You understand? So if folks should know, around that particular time when the dry season per se, you get some storage for water, so you don't have that problem.
Exactly. But so I'm kind of because a lot of people are building down here, and I don't know, I hope somebody is hearing my voice, that build a system, build a underground system before you put the house up, because it worth the while. I could tell you that in the dry season, I have my water system in the dry season. Now, when the rain falls, it fills it up, so as I tell you, so quickly, I cannot use enough water in the system, because as soon as the rain falls, I guess by today or later again, it fill it up, and it's had so much water wasting. So I'm surprised that my neighbor is not, she don't have water to bathe. Definitely this morning there is no water in the pipe.
Probably could offer some assistance. Get us some water. Could take a shower.
Yeah, well, she could come over and get some.
Have a good morning.
All right, see that.
Have a good one. These days, folks may not even have to build storage. There's the world has gone to a state where you can actually get storage containers that could be easily installed. So the option of having to build a storage and so forth, that is, may not even be necessary, but you could actually get storage, your tanks and so forth, and have your water supply just in case your water from the main goes, you can use your storage supply. Let's take a break, folks. You're coming back with more of your comments and contribution this morning after the break. Stay with us. It's To The Point.
Traditional Mass, the foundation of our carnival. It's where it all started. So on Saturday, July 29th, over 10 traditional mass bands will showcase our rich and deeply diverse traditional mass. Let's go to Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark from 3 p.m. Come see the Short Knee, Maypole, Wild Indians, Mocha Jumbies, and Vaco as they parade the streets. Capture the experience, the color, the sights and sounds of what's truly ours. With free admission for the entire family. Log on to www.spicemassgrenada.com for everything carnival. Traditional Mass Festival, Saturday, July 29th, Hero Square, Victoria. Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall Courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Get ready to catch all the action. The CPL returns August 16th to September 24th. Be watching.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. Welcome back to The Point for today, Friday. It's the 21st day of July. It's an open line edition of To The Point this morning, which means you have the option of calling, share your views and concern pertaining to issues that may be of concern to you. We're going back to the phone line. Let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. If people know that they cannot keep up when they are living when they intend to live somewhere, please don't go there. Because according to where you live, you have to be able to produce certain things. For example, if you're living down in Point Sterling, or you want to live down there, you have to have a huge sum of money if you want to live up to the Jones down there. So if you know you cannot buy water tank, please don't go there. Stay where you are. A lot of us are going to live in certain areas where they shouldn't go because they want to live up to the Jones up there. So this is one of the advice I'll give you. In fact, certain people in the certain high areas where rainfall is things still have these black tanks. They buy it and they provide themselves with it or with them should in case there is a deficiency of water. So you people, when you want to go to live in Point Saline and Gold Coast and so on, make sure that you buy tanks and put it up even before you build your house. So that would be a help to you. Or otherwise, if you know you're not economically sound, don't go there.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Thank you so much. Let's go over to the Facebook page, grab some of the comments. Let's see what's relevant that we can throw this morning. Let's kick it off with this one. And we have a list that is saying, signs of the end of times is still not yet, is yet not time, caller, as it mentioned in the Bible. So when the end of time be? So when will the end of time be? The ideology was well crafted by the scholars and translators. Let's take this one from Ernesto. Last Friday, I welcomed the attention that was given to the Seymour's farmers in Sauteurs, but I think we missed an opportunity to highlight the damage of the Sauteurs Coast Beach and in the Mount Rodney area, caused by the breakwater project, of course, blocking the main canal with sand, avoiding the water that to be causing the water to be standstill, and which is giving out a smell that is not for human to be smelling, and that's a bit of a concern there from Ernesto. Let's go back to the phone line this morning. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
I guess when we hear what happened next door in St. Vincent, it really causes unease. And I think I was hearing in the news about this free movement. I know our borders are very porous, and we cannot, I would say, protect every inch of our border. But I see this whole matter of free movement as not a very good thing for us. I know criminals will always find a way, but I don't think we have to give them, an open way to just come, do a crime in a country, escape to another one, go and pursue people you have, grudges against in another island. And I think the heads of state should look seriously at this matter of crimes before they make a final decision. They already made it about this free movement. I'm not comfortable about this thing at this point in time with our neighbors and the kind of criminal activity, and to tell people that they're free to move as though they're just moving from St. Patrick to St. Mark. This bothers me.
All right.
Now, another thing I want to mention is that we hear a lot of there's a lot of chatter and people trying to associate criminal activity with certain things, especially poverty, with no statistics to support it. We're saying give them jobs and they will stop commit crimes. We're not saying that of those who have committed the crimes, how many of them are unemployed or actively looking for jobs. It was very disgusting and sickening to hear our opposition leader, who has a PhD in statistics, not quoting any statistics, but saying in the parliament this week, giving a hint that the $150 may be contributing towards the crime. Could you imagine how disgusting that will sound? I mean, this is money that was given short-term to the destitute and indigent people, many of them elderly folks. Now we're trying to attach that to criminal activity by young people? Oh, God, how sick can we be as a country? Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Opposition Leader, you have a PhD in statistics. Get the statistics. Show us the relationship between $150 and the criminal activity. Don't go and do this. Don't give dog whistles to criminals and give them an escape. You say, so then they'll say, oh, things are hard. They took away my grandmother $150, so I go and chop a man's hand. Let's not go there, please. as a people, it is as bad as it is. We need divine intervention. We need better parenting. We need better policing. We need a lot of things to be done. But to try to give a kind of hint that the withdrawal of $150 is contributing to the rise in criminal activity. Oh, I mean, this is really a stretch, and I'm ashamed that someone at that level, with that level of intellect, should be saying things like that. Have a good day, please.
Yeah, thank you too, caller. Have yourself a great day also. We're moving out 15 minutes before the top 10 here on To The Point this morning here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller. I guess there's no one there. 435-2041, 435-2041, open line edition for To The Point this morning. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What is your topic this morning? Because I was not when your program started now.
It's an open line this morning, sir, which means you have the
option. What I've noticed in the bus stop on them bus stop on them or the bus shelter, what the government spend money on the ministers and them, like whosoever put it up, that is destroying, well not destroy, that is stealing the lights, they're removing it on the compound, and there is no lights on Bamboo Bridge. That's Steve only come up to carry the hard one there, that they remove it from it. So now, who's sitting in that bus thing there now? Because the other night we was passing and some, you know what I mean, you cannot recognize and because anybody, because this bus shelter on Bamboo Bridge, it does be very, very dark. So whosoever donate and who donate, please stop, because we count for roads, we count for light, healthcare, everything. And when this government going to emptying up everything, people is coming back and destroy the same thing that we're talking about, which government don't do it. So will you please leave the light in the bus, please, because it's for our benefit and for our children, generation and generation to come. Have a good morning.
Thank you for your contribution there, caller. 12 minutes moving on before the top of the hour this morning. It's To The Point, open line edition, 435-2041, 435-2041. And let's take a peek at the WhatsApp. There's any comment via the WhatsApp this morning, and I'm seeing a comment here from someone via WhatsApp is saying, good morning to you, GT. My son is not working. No, he worked at a bar. He worked as a bar manager for most of his life, appealed for help, and when the new government was giving, he did everything. Nothing was given. Not a bit clear in terms of the conversation the person is trying to say. It's a bit mixed. I'll try to brief it before I read it next time. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Let me just shout out a few.
You're sounding, caller, for some reason, I'm barely hearing you. And if I'm barely hearing you in the studio, the listeners and viewers may not be hearing you. So I'm not sure if it's your phone or something of the sort, but I'm very rarely hearing you. So please, may have to call me back depending on your location. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah.
Good morning. Caller, good morning to you, caller. I'm not sure where you're going at. Does not have time for those kind of things this morning. 435, if you call to make a contribution, please do so. Don't call to tell me I cut you off and stuff like that. That's irrelevant right now. 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm fine, man. What about you?
I'm fine myself. I just want to extend a little bit of what Jude has said.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to look at the dynamics on the ground. If the dynamics on the ground is all about things are hard and people are struggling, then the criminals would flourish. Because remember, the people that is balling, they're looking to get their life anywhere and anyhow to make things easy for them. They're going to do it. So the criminals could flourish because they're getting the sentiment on the ground that we can do things and get away with it. Now, I want to move to the bus situation in the country. There was a young girl I had a conversation with just about 3 days ago. And she told me she normally comes to St. George's and work. But when she finished work, she can't get bus to go back home. So now she had to walk from Grenville and hope she get a ride or something to drop home. So by that, it doesn't make sense going to St. George's and work. So sometimes people look for work. People get work. But based on the condition in the country, it doesn't make any sense you're going to work. Because you can't get back home, and the money you're working for, you got to pay a tax to drop you home. Better you stay home. So we have to get things right. Our bus, we need to have a bus system in this country.
You think that could work actually right now at the stage that it has gotten to having a bus system in the country? You think that could work with the magnitude of buses that are privately owned, which means the private owners which think that they could do whatever they want with their bus? So
yes,
I mean,
it could work.
I don't know. I certainly do have a different opinion about it. So
well, no, it's a government responsibility.
Well, I don't think government can do anything about it, honestly.
Why? So we could just end up in this live and die like that.
It's going to remain the way it is.
Bro, in New York, there is on Eastern Parkway and different areas, there's buses running. There is private had a little thing and they run it.
I always have the tendency to have a problem when people raise a comparison with other countries with Grenada. What's happened in New York can happen in Grenada.
Two islands, they have it.
You're still raising a comparison. Can't work.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they have it on the islands, so why we can have it here?
Well, Grenada is a different place to the other islands, sir. In my opinion, you cannot raise a comparison.
So you're telling me that the reason why I can't go in St. George's and work because I cannot get bus to go back home.
I'm not saying that.
So
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying trying to raise a comparison what happens in another country and what will happen in Grenada. It's two different things. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, I think it can work. I think it can work. I really
you think it can work? I have a different opinion.
I don't think we are dumb people.
Let's not make a long issue about it. All right. Anything else you want to share?
Have a nice, bro.
Take it easy, my brother. Have a good morning, man. And I certainly do understand what you're trying to say, but I'm just trying to say we always have the tendency to try to raise a comparison what could happen over there and what could happen here, and it's different. You see stuff happening somewhere else doesn't mean it's going to happen or work, I would say, in Grenada. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hey, morning. Let me share the concern that the last caller had about the bus system. The bus system in Grenada does not work because we have no national transport policy. That's one. There isn't a policy. And when I'm talking about transport, I'm not talking about buses alone. I'm talking about marine traffic between here and Carriacou. Right? I'm not talking about buses. I'm talking about what we do with trucks, what we do with cars. There is no policy. It's a laissez-faire operation. The issue about people not being able, in fact, the previous caller, the caller before that one, was talking about lights in bus stops, and I was quite amused because I didn't know that buses travel at night and that people would be in bus stops for looking for lights. The issue of getting buses to operate longer, and the reason why buses finish operate now at 7, 8, and probably 9 o'clock is because they are making sufficient money to meet their obligations, pay the bank, pay their insurance, fix replace parts and all the rest of it during the course of the day.
I agree. I'm in agreement.
Listen, a bus is capable of working 23 out of 24 hours, 1 hour for service. You probably will need 2 drivers, but we don't do that. Right? We park up the bus for 12 hours and we work for 6 or 7. What our authorities don't seem to be able to understand is that we need to license buses not only by zone, but also by time. It is the only way we will get people who live who work in the hotel sector to get home after 10 o'clock. You go to a restaurant in South now, and from 9:30, they're watching the clock. They tell you the kitchen closed because people had to get home. If we start licensing buses not only by zone 1 to zone 7 or whatever it is, but also by time. In other words, get people to operate, license people to operate between say 6 to 8 p.m. in the night to 7 p.m. in the morning. And when you find people pirating on those routes and so on, you take serious action. Our famous thing here is that we don't take no action. We are toothless. That's part of the problem. So the question of licensing by time is part of the problem. Look at the question of the number of buses that we have. Do we really need all of these many buses carrying 17 and 23 people? Why have we not just moved the larger buses that are carrying 26 posters? The posters now can maneuver, Granite Town, they can maneuver most of the corners that we have around the place. Why it is we continue to license these small buses and have so many more of them on the road? And you will be surprised. But if people are able to rely on transport, you won't find everybody wanting to buy a schedule to be able to move around. It will eventually reduce congestion on the road. But the powers that be, past and present, seem incapable of thinking along these lines. My brother, thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, sir. Thank you so much. 435-2041. We probably could accommodate another caller or two if they do make their contribution pretty quickly. We could accommodate at least two more. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Good morning.
Okay, sir. In 1978, I used to be working in a hotel in the Grandlands area. And the boss would drop you on the bottom roundabout. And I live in St. David. And I finish work 10 o'clock. The boss leave the hotel 10:15. When the bus drop you 10:30 on the bottom roundabout, I have to find my way up to St. David, Windsor, first to be exact. And I have to run, I used to walk, try to hike ride. I have to get back to work for 7 in the morning. So this thing already changed in the true sense of the word. People, I think that the thing that do that, we Grenadians want other people to make sacrifices for them instead of them making sacrifices for themselves. 1978, I used to grab on the roundabout and run to reach in Windsor Forest to get to work for the next morning. We have to learn to make sacrifices for ourselves.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. We probably could accommodate one more call. 3 minutes moving up before the top 10. Let's take our final call and then we get a wrap with this one. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I was the last. I suppose I'll be the last. Anyway, I want to support the concern of the last two callers because transport is something we should put at the center of our concern because without transportation, it can impede any kind of evolution or development regardless of what you want to use. And it's serious, but I think we could solve the problem by making transportation a state thing. I'm not talking about communism now. There are ways to do that where, whether in the private sector, your obligation is to ensure that you fulfill aspiration of the state, so that some collaboration, cooperation, and it has been attempted from time to time, but as you first speak on the transport says, people would kind of sabotage the turn and run and make the thing not effective. You need to polish, as he said, and I believe him, we're very toothless in this country. But we need to resolve that, because I remember when I was living in Victoria, there are many things I want to...
I'm giving you another 30 seconds to wrap. You're almost out of time.
Now. Yeah, I finished. But when I couldn't come down to many things because, you don't get bus. One time I came down, I had to, sleep, in the road. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
All right, all the best. 435-2041, that's the number, but no more calls, I would say. It's about time for us to take up. I want to thank all who contributed to today's program. It was very fruitful in terms of the callers who made those meaningful contributions this morning. Certainly hope you have a great day, what's left of it, and join us again next week for another edition of To The Point. Have yourself a great weekend to come. Usually I'm not here on a weekend, so I'll be back with you next Monday, on Monday to come, I should say, once the Almighty permits health, strength, life, and everything else in between. Have yourself a good one. Be good to yourself and others. And this way I say goodbye for today's edition of To The Point.